Well, joining us now to speak more about Bafana Bafana at the Africa Cup of Nations is iDiski Times senior journalist Lorenz Kohler. Very good afternoon and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Good to be chatting to you once again. Can you give us a sense of what you've noticed in the camp over the last couple of days since being in Cote d'Ivoire?
Good afternoon, good evening, Vailan. Obviously, what we've seen is that the players are in very good spirits. You know, they're joking, they're happy, they all look very physically fit. You know, tiredness, already 30 games this season. So, yeah, I think there's a very confident mood going into the camp, going into the AFCON, because many people feel that they are underdogs. They don't have anything to lose. And I think they want to obviously start the first game on the front foot against Mali today, which is going to be a massive task because Korogo is on the borders of Mali, and the distance between Abidjan and Korogo and Bamako and Korogo is literally the same. So many Malian fans have traveled from their country via their own cars or buses to come and support their home team. And here in the Francophone region, West Africa, they're very fanatical about football. So yeah, we're definitely going to be outnumbered in supporters, but I think the camp is very positive going into this first game because they are the underdogs.
Has the team got a psychologist, or how have they been managing that mental aspect? So we've heard the coach speak about the intensity that they need to be expecting. We even have the players saying that, you know, there is a lot of pressure on them and lots of expectation to emulate the team of 1996.
I don't think there's a psychologist per se in the camp, but I mean, this team is used to these things now. They've been together for more than 18 months together, and they've been getting good results, even though, in my opinion, it's a very small technical team that could be beefed up. There could be a lot of improvements in the Bafana Bafana fold line. You know, like from sports psychologists, nutritionists. If you look at the Tunisian technical team, they were doing like a pitch inspection last night, and we probably thought that was the full squad, and it was literally just the technical team walking around the pitch. So it just shows that there is a room for improvement. When you look at the Bafana side, it's like, you know, like 10 members and they all like part-time and things like that. But it doesn't mean that, you know, we can't compete, because we've shown we can be competitive at this level. I mean, our only defeat in 18 months has been Rwanda. And that was very unfavorable conditions. But I think here, pitch looks good. The weather is going to be about 26 degrees. It's decent at that time. And the infrastructure has been good as well. So there's really no excuses or anything standing in their way that, you know, they could call out of being unfair or anything of the sort.
Yeah, we have played Mali before at the Africa Cup of Nations, and never in a group stage match. It's always been at a knockout game, and unfortunately both of those quarterfinals in 2002 and 2013 not going the way of South Africa. But it's a brand new team, brand new generation, although Mali are going to be really difficult, aren't they?
Yeah, I think if you look at Mali's midfield, that's where they're the strongest. They've got top players from all around Europe. Yves Bissouma, who plays in the English Premier League. Somasoko, who's playing in the Bundesliga. They've got Aliou Dieng, who's a teammate of Percy Tau. He can't even get into the team. And while Percy Tau is one of our most important players, so it just shows the strength and quality and depth that Mali do possess. And they've always been dark horses over the past few AFCONs, and they've never really, you know, lived up to that dark horse tag. But yeah, history does count in their favor. We've never beaten them at the AFCON. But like what Brewer said, he says, yes, they got good players. Yes, they're more experienced at a higher level, but they're not the best team in Africa. And we've shown we could beat Morocco at FNB Stadium. We've shown we could, you know, go toe-to-toe with the host Ivory Coast here in Abidjan. So we do have the quality. It's just about, you know, getting the things right on the match day.
This is Mali's 13th participation at the tournament. No side has played as many games as Mali, 54 at AFCON, without ever winning the trophy. Their best performance dates back to 1972, where they lost in a final against the Congo. So that's a stat for Mali that they'd, really like to overturn. You mentioned that they've never kind of lived up to their dark horse tag. Let's speak a little bit more about South Africa. We had a couple of injury concerns coming into the tournament, but Ronwen Williams, Themba Zwane, Mtobi Mvala, they were all training on Saturday?
Yeah, basically when we were training last night, we saw everybody, doing the warm-up drills, showing a lot of intensity. The goalkeepers were a bit away from us, but Ronwen was on the pitch, as compared to a couple of last week when we were in the Stellenbosch Academy of Science. Ronwen, Themba Zwane and Mbala were off the pitch completely. And Bruce said that if players weren't able to train within a 10-day period of arriving, they wouldn't be with the team. And what we saw from Mbala, he looked okay. We didn't really get, an exact confirmation that he will play. But yeah, I think if he's 90, the soldiers alongside, it's probably a clean bill of health. And the players that Bruce wants, whether the public or media doesn't agree with it, that's the players that he feels can give him the best results at the tournament.
There are a number of Mamelodi Sundowns players as part of this Bafana Bafana squad, and we know that the coach is going to be relying heavily on them to get through to the round of 16 and out of the group stages. How do you think fatigue is going to affect those players specifically? They certainly have, the South African players in the team, maybe Percy Tau among them, have really played the most amount of football. Oh, unfortunately, losing the connection with the iDiski Times senior journalist Lorenz Kohler.